Welcome to another episode of GlideChat. My name is Mike Lombardo. Sitting with me is Ohad Kushner, our Chief Customer Officer at GlideFast. Ohad, how are you today?
Great, Mike. How are you?
Oh man, this is like so overdue. Because usually, especially when I get people in GlideFast that are local, I get them on the GlideChat like first week. So you've been here a couple months now, but welcome to GlideFast officially, and thank you for joining us. And man, we are excited to have your leadership here.
Likewise.
So why don't you tell the audience a little bit of your background and talk a little bit how you got to GlideFast, and we'll take it from there.
Sure. I'll kind of work backwards.
Yeah.
Prior to joining GlideFast, I spent 3 years at ServiceNow.
Mm-hmm.
I was head of go-to-market for telecom media technology at ServiceNow for the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
So it was basically a business development role.
Yeah.
Talk to customers all day in those three sectors about their ServiceNow journeys and trying to match the ServiceNow value proposition with what they're trying to do. Prior to that, I worked at AT&T for 13 and a half years, the last 3 of which I helped put together the strategy around ServiceNow for AT&T Business.
That must have been an easy. That was very easy.
Walk in the park. Yeah.
It's a little closer on the mic.
Small company.
Small company, yeah. Small ServiceNow initiatives,
I like to say that my time at AT&T is like 3 MBAs.
Yeah.
So it was really, really good. Prior to that, I ran services, including professional services for a tech company called Interwise.
Nice.
For close to 9 years. That company got acquired by AT&T. That's how I got there.
Yep.
And prior to that, I was in the military. That's my background.
That's awesome. Yeah, me and you just hit it all. I'll never forget, like, the first lunch we had. It's got to be 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, 5 or 6
years ago. And we just hit it off right away. And, I'll never forget, like, you put yourself on the line, I think, for us quite a bit. You believed in us. I was so honored that you trusted me and GlideFast and our team, so much. And you put, like I said, your name on the line, and you really took a risk. And, it's kind of similar now that I'm saying it. It's almost like similar to how I believed in ServiceNow, and so many of us have believed in ServiceNow when it was, the early days where it's just a ticketing system and just incident management. We're like, man, this development's fast. Like, this can really go somewhere. And it's like, then you saw it come true, then it did become more than just incident management, and it did start to dominate the market. And it must be like kind of similar with you. It's like you believed in GlideFast, and then it's like, wow, you saw GlideFast grow and become successful. It's like, okay, I was right.
That's right. So that lunch that we had 6 years ago, GlideFast was about 40 or so professionals.
Wow.
So I remember the number.
Wow.
And I think in many respects, we're talking now about the future and new customers that may be watching this video.
Yeah.
Here you have a Fortune 9 company
that
is used to working with every partner under the sun, including the big ones. Yeah. Heavy immersed relationships. In fact, going with at the time a small partner. Yeah. Because quality matters.
Yeah.
And I think I've been around the GlideFast orbit from the AT&T side, and then I continued that orbiting around GlideFast when I was a ServiceNow go-to-market leader. And now it's just a natural progression for me to go into the partner side. I like to say that if I would sell something to ServiceNow, I'd also be a vendor. Then I'll have 4.
Yeah.
Right now, I've been a client, an employee, and a partner.
That's amazing.
And I think in many respects, it's the journey of any customer or prospect that we have right now, which is quality matters.
Yeah.
Digital transformation is hard.
It is.
It can be very messy. Statistics are stacked against us.
Yep.
So in that triad of technology partner, customer, and partner, you cannot do it without a great partner. And that's what I saw early on.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's like you can have a Ferrari, right? But if you just leave it parked in the garage, or you don't get the right maintenance, and you don't put the right gasoline in it, it's not going to run the same, right? And it's tough because, so much of it's true. There's a huge low-code component. There's so much advantage to just using it, day one, because basically what ServiceNow is, it's a platform, an application development platform with pre-built applications on it. That's right. ServiceNow has invested millions in years and in all their customers' knowledge into making the out-of-the-box day one application phenomenal. And you're going to gain so much just by turning that thing on. That's right. But then it needs to be personalized to how you operate, because we're all different. We're all unique. Yes, telco companies, you look at two telco companies, a lot of similarities, but then there's a lot of differentiation too. And ServiceNow does need to development needs to happen, but it's got to happen the right way and following the best solution model and avoiding those bad practices.
And I think you nailed it. And it's, my job here is to look outside in, also what the customers think of us, what the customers need.
Yeah.
And in many respects, let's just say it the way customers say. And one of them said this to me just 3 weeks ago. We don't want to be order givers or order takers.
Yeah.
We want a partner that can advise us, counsel us, take into account things that have worked and have not worked with other deployments. And in many respects, I think in the new age, that's what people expect from partners. It's not just personnel.
Yeah.
It's not a price point.
Yeah.
It's that advisory layer where they know that they're being counseled along the way.
Yeah.
They have an intimate relationship when things go right. Yeah. And especially when there are rainy day scenarios. And, that's what I look to do here, with the 500 people that we have.
Yeah.
All of them, great talent. And if we can do that time and time again at the highest level, customers will sail.
What makes GlideFast special to you? Like because we've been talking about you coming here for a long time.
Yeah.
And you like I said, you always believe in us, but what makes in your opinion, what makes GlideFast unique and special in a, room full of other partners?
So I think every partner under the sun can bring in personnel, the technical consultants, the architects, the business process consultants. And, in the war of attrition that goes on with statements of work and the sales cycle, et cetera, anybody can reign supreme. I think what makes us, better than anyone else, I'm convinced of this. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have joined here. I had a great career at ServiceNow, is the groundswell that you actually don't see.
Yeah.
Customers don't see. It's kind of like, the analogy of the iceberg.
Yeah.
What you see, above the ocean. Exactly. Yeah. And here's what happens here. And, I knew about it, but I really did not know about it until I really came and saw it.
Yeah.
So first it starts with culture and attitude as the base. There's a can-do attitude. This isn't just people going and filling, worksheets and getting as quickly as they can to Friday.
Yeah.
It's actually, there's a can-do attitude. Let's do it. Customer first mentality, I think, better than anyone I've seen.
Yeah.
And I've worked with many of the partners. So it starts there. Then we have a continuous improvement cycle here of, peer support, knowledge acceleration, a methodology for learning from lessons, from mistakes, getting better. Yeah. The analogy that I use is never rest at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
There's always something else to conquer, always something else to learn.
Yeah.
And this isn't just happening culturally, but we also have the mechanisms and the process and the methodology to do that.
Yeah.
And then I think, above everything else, it's the talent. It's just, the people that come in already with great base knowledge, and then they get ever so much better once they're here. And I'll just, I like the analogy of all boats rise in the tide.
Yeah.
If you get good people around you, you become better.
And the egos are checked at the door, right? It's not like me versus the architect next to me. It's like, how can I help you? Right. And I introduced that term Ubuntu, that it is exactly that, giving yourself to the person next to you. And in turn, it comes back twofold when you need help. And I think that's just something we've always been. We've always just wanted to help each other. And in turn, it makes every single one of us stronger and better. Like the ego and the competitiveness, it just doesn't work. And I'll tell you, like, I've worked for other partners in this space, and, I talk to a lot of obviously developers, even ones that don't work here in the community and everything. And, we're so passionate about ServiceNow and the problems it's solving. And these are all, for the most part, young companies, digitally transformed. We're at the forefront of transformation. We're fast. And the people that work at these partners love their company. Like they love it. They love rocking the GlideFast gear. And I think there's a degree of that everywhere. But at GlideFast, like, GlideFast loves you back.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I know it's weird. It's a company, like, people will say, like, oh, it's a companies don't love you back, but it does. Like, and that's just what I wanted from the beginning, because that's what I was searching for. When I was at other partners, when I was a developer, when I was an architect, I was so in, sales, recruiting, delivery, marketing, everything. I just wanted the love back, and that's what I was looking for. And so that's what I wanted to create. And I was fortunate that the people that came, in the beginning, especially, they wanted the same thing. They wanted to create an environment where it was fun to work at, where we're having fun working hard. It's not, some people say work hard, play hard. It's like, we're working hard all the time. Like this is like, if you're looking for an easy job where you're just going to coast through, this is not the place, because we're solving big problems. We're smashing big rocks. We're in the largest, ServiceNow projects out there. You're familiar with one of them, right? Yeah. And one of those customers. I just don't know how lucky we were to have all these people that were on the same mission. We're moving as one. We love each other. We love the platform. We love our customers. And it's like, it doesn't happen. It's 1 in a billion.
That's right.
And that's why we can't, like, we have to take advantage of that. That's how I feel like, if it's a shame if we don't dominate this market,
Agreed. I mean, so I'll say a few things on that. One, customers want to know that the people that are working with them are treated well.
Yeah.
So it's really important. And attitude shows, service sells.
Yeah.
You can tell as a client, if the vendor, the partner, et cetera, is not, if their employees are disgruntled.
Yeah.
So that it really matters even for business. The second thing around ego, in a true consulting firm, and we're positioning ourselves as best in class in the ServiceNow domain, and in general, best in class principles when it comes to consulting in general, is you're a client servant by definition. You're in service of a client. You're a partner. It's not about your ego. It's not about your success. It's the client success. It's the client champion who we want to
excel,
be able to stand in front of a microphone or sit in front of a microphone and talk about and praise their digital transformation. So we, by definition, are in service of someone else. And I think people that cannot live in that environment tend to have egos. And we are, in general, in the consulting world, you want to choose the ones that are client servants. And we have plenty of them here today. It's really, we want the customers to succeed. It's not about us.
Exactly. And in turn, we'll succeed.
That's right.
And it's like, and that's what I mean. If your team is winning, you're winning.
That's right.
Like when you look at a team that won a championship in sports, right? Does it really matter what position you played, right? But everyone's got a position to play. That's right. Does it matter if you were the second string or the third string, or it doesn't. It's just you got that ring, and you all contributed.
Michael Jordan said famously that he didn't start having fun until he engaged the others on the team.
Yeah.
When he was just shooting baskets, et cetera, he was a superstar and got the fame. He didn't have fun.
No, exactly.
You need fun when you're working part of it.
LeBron does not feel that way, though. Yeah, that's right. he just wants to score himself. Yeah. So what's next? So, I think, what I love about, you coming in here is like you making changes, like still like not being comfortable with, yes, we won Elite Partner of the Year 2 times in a row. We've won these big things, but that's not good enough for us, right? Like and I love that you're in the same mentality as me. We got to keep raising the bar. We got to keep making sure everybody loves working here and, loves the projects we work and all the challenges we're solving. But what do you see as like maybe one or two things that we can improve on to get to the next level?
Within delivery, which is the organization that I had here, our stated goal is to become best in class.
Yeah.
Best in class means a lot of things. It means that every interaction with a customer is best in class.
Yep.
Every output that we put out in terms of a deliverable is best in class. The talent that we bring in is best in class, et cetera. And when you get there, you keep on going. It's not a finish line. It's just it's really a floating target. Continues to get further and further from you.
Yep.
So that's our stated goal. So the mission that I have right now is to help you, Mike, and the entire leadership team here scale.
Yeah.
We have had tremendous growth because of prior successes.
Yep.
Using the analogy from before, you cannot rest, and competition is fierce. Clients have stricter demands. Yep. So it's about just tightening those screws and getting better and better and better in each area within delivery. The other thing that I think that is really keen here is that is the level of intimacy. So I think the types of people that we bring in, including on the leadership team, are the types of people that will take a customer call any day or night and make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about the size that we are. 500 consultants. People may think it's big. Others may think it's small. Not as big. But that is something that we have to maintain as we continue to grow, and that's really the mission. So really create that scale, tighten the screws, and maintain the level of intimacy and great culture that we have, even as we continue to grow. Because ServiceNow is growing. And we intend to grow with that ship. Exactly.
Yeah, it's just amazing, and just to see growing new talent into the space, and it's like we're doing good as well. And I said the other day, a few weeks ago, like, we're here to change the world. And I saw someone comment like, what do you mean? How are you changing the world with ServiceNow? I'm like, if you're asking that question, then you shouldn't be in the space.
That's right.
Because we are changing the world. I mean, we're changing how government, state and local governments and federal governments interact with their citizens. We're changing how everybody interacts with companies, consumers with companies, employees with their company. And what I love the most is like, who knows what's next? Like, we don't know. Because you know what? To be honest, I never thought in 2010 that ServiceNow, if I wanted to apply for a fishing license, I'd go to ServiceNow to do it, right? So it's or if I needed food assistance or unemployment assistance, like it's and that's why I think so many people are still so excited, because the use cases are endless. It's just a matter of time until ServiceNow expands there.
The reply to that person that gave you a comment is this: take a look at the consumer world and look how much we are buying differently just in the last few years, just because of Amazon. Not here to make, not to advertise them, but just look at that B2C market and how consumers today engage in commerce. That has changed. ServiceNow mission is to do the same thing on the business side. Not only B2B, but B2B2C. And that revolution is going to happen because people expect to get the Amazon experience today. And that's, when I was at ServiceNow, that's usually what we were talking. Imagine going in front of a telco, that has age-old systems, sometimes from decades ago, and talk about Amazon experience in the new world. It's going to happen.
It has to.
It has to happen.
It's innovate or die. And like that used to be our like tagline.
That's right.
Because Fred Luddy put that up. Picture a Blockbuster logo, innovate or die.
That's right.
And it's like, it's becoming like innovate. Yeah, literally, like it's a matter of survival now.
So that world,
like we need to be more efficient. We can't have, thousands of employees doing. I mean, we've replaced, true swivel chair, people clicking refresh on a browser. Not that it was that company we're talking about, but no, refresh, waiting for a queue to update. I mean, it's like on a system 20, 30 years old, and it's just not feasible.
No question, Mike, that the world is going to change.
Yeah.
And if it changed on the consumer side, it's going to change on the business side.
Yeah.
If you're working Monday to Friday, let's just assume that those are your working days. Let's just hypothetically say 9 to 5. There's no reason why your experience at work, those days, those hours, is different than when you get home and you're buying a little gadget on Amazon.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. It might, you might not see it today. It'll happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's what we're helping customers do.
That's
And big,
and that's what's fun. That's what's fun. And you get to see those results. This is what I loved about ServiceNow too, is you get to see those results and you get to see them quickly.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's the gratification of when you're a developer, when you're a consultant, when you're a project manager, you get to witness these results, be a part of it, and it happens fast. All right, what piece of advice would you give to somebody maybe looking to grow into leadership, or let's end with some advice for people maybe looking to grow their careers, either in ServiceNow or leadership, whatever you have for advice.
So I think curiosity was key for me. I'm not saying that that's the only recipe, but being open. People can come in as introverts or extroverts, but if you are curious and open and you have a 360 view of things, especially not just a view of yourself, you're not in an echo chamber, but you try to understand what is the customer actually saying or meaning when they say this or did not say that, and try to get that perspective, and you build that over months and years and years and years of a career, you start to get a really holistic view of how to do things, what not to do, how to behave, how to engage, how to de-escalate, how to motivate customers who are on messy, complex journeys. That to me is number one. Is I love sitting in a conference room for me personally and just people watch. You get a lot. Why did that person do that or say that? And I still do that to this day. And when I do mentoring, that's one of the pieces of advice is you do that. Don't look at your iPhone or tablet at that moment. You get so much from engaging with other people. The other thing is, of course, that's table stakes, which is network where people get different perspectives. Different people will teach you, and others may teach you things that you don't want to do. Either way, that's learning. And that's really important. And then set a goal. Not everybody, might be set for leadership. Leadership doesn't have to be only leading people. It could be leadership as individual contributors as well. And I think you can still be a really tremendous leader. So setting that goal is always good because then you know where you're walking towards. So those would be my 3.
That's great. All right. Thank you for joining us on another episode of GlideChat. Make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and subscribe. Thank you, guys.